The following is an excerpt from The Seven Main Aspects of God by Emmet. The first main aspect I'm going to consider is life. God is life. God is not just living, nor does God give life, but God is life. Where God is, there life is. God is your life. Life is existence or being. When you are sick, you are only partly alive. When you are tired or depressed or discouraged, you are only partly alive. To be truly alive means to be well and full of interest in the day's work. Few people as yet express God in an adequate way because they lack the sense of life. What usually happens is that people grow up to a maximum sense of life, what we call the prime of life, and then gradually deterioration sets in, a process which we call middle age, and finally come old age and death. This process is common to the whole race and is not, of course, the fault of the individual. But we have to overcome it sometime by realizing that it is only a false belief, and by knowing, not merely believing, that God is our life and that He never changes. Joy is one of the highest expressions of God as life. Actually, it's a mixture of life and love. And the Bible says that the sons of God shout for joy. This means that when we realize our divine sonship, we must experience joy, and that sorrow is a loss of the sense of the fatherhood of God. Joy and happiness always have an expansive effect, just as fear has a contracting and paralyzing effect. You know how a little child, when it meets someone whom it loves and trusts, expands like an opening flower and goes out to meet him. But when it is afraid, it shrinks back into itself. That is what happens to the human soul, too. Again, when a person says, "I can," you always notice an expansive and forward movement. But when he says, "I can't," there is a retraction. You could not imagine a person saying, "Yes, I can," with a shrinking gesture, or "No, I can't," in an optimistic or forthright way. The body always expresses the thought, and the thought of life heals and inspires, whereas thoughts of fear and death contract and destroy. You should realize the aspect of God as life for healing sickness, for the getting older belief, and for any kind of depression or discouragement. Realizing divine life heals a sick person. And of course, you can heal animals and plants too. Animals usually respond quickly to this treatment, and plants very quickly indeed. But one should not try to keep an old animal alive by treatment after it has reached the normal span for its species. Animals and plants yield quickly because They do not have the strong sense of personal egotism that most human beings do. They never make up their minds that they cannot get well, or that sickness is sent for a good purpose. Neither do they give way to discouragement because they have not been healed faster. An excellent experiment is to select two plants or two flower beds and start them off together. Then, treat one of them every day, but not the other, and before long, you will be surprised to find how much difference there is in the progress made by them. Realize the presence of divine life in the flower bed or plant and give it thoughts of love. Drench it with love. Everyone knows that some gardeners are far more successful than others, even though their technical qualifications may be the same, and the reason is that one loves his plants and the other has only a business interest in them. If a person seems to lack ambition, treat him for life by realizing the presence of divine life in him. A man came to me whose grown-up son seemed to be quite without ambition. On my advice, the father treated him by realizing divine life, and very soon things began to change. The patient lost his listlessness and began to take an interest in life, and was soon doing well at his work. The doctors told the father that the patient's glands were working better, and no doubt the treatment did improve them, but of course this was only the channel or means by which the prayer acted. Here is another interesting experiment that you can make. Some evening, when you find yourself in a crowded streetcar or subway train, and most of the people around you are looking tired and worried, and obviously wishing that they were at their journey's end, just start declaring the presence of God as life in all those present, and keep it up. You will be surprised and gratified at what will happen. First, one person will brighten up and smile, and then another will obviously relax. And before long, the whole crowd in that car will be feeling and looking differently. Do not say that this is fantastic nonsense, but try it.